I don't just talk about other people's stuff, I also make my own. Books in particular. To date, I have 4 books you can check out on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and the short story collection Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Hop on down to the description for Amazon links to all 4 books. Enjoy whichever ones you read, and enjoy the video.
It has been too long since my last visit. Is something wrong, Master Omniviewer?
Nothing earth-shattering, Lex. Just having a hard time breaking into a new hobby. I'm trying to get into miniature tabletop gaming, you know.
Ah, yes. My old associate Herbert George Wells wrote an exquisite piece about that. What seems to be your trouble?
Well, the world of tabletop gaming is an overwhelming one. I've been looking for a game to get into for a while now, but there are just so many to sift through, and some of the coolest ones are already dead from lack of interest. If I'd have known about them in time, I would have supported them, you know? Maybe given them some attention on my channel or something.
Yes, I am well aware of your policy to support the entrepreneurs. Suppose I help you narrow your focus, sir. Since you are already on that digital monstrosity, why not try looking up Sauriana by Fossilpunk Foundry, spelled exactly as it sounds.
Sauriana by Fossilpunk Foundry? That sounds vaguely familiar. Alright, I'll give it a look. Oh, I remember this. I started following this project a few years ago, but I haven't heard anything in a while. Hey, not only has there been a lot of progress made since I last checked, but it looks like the game is finally being released.
So the game strikes your fancy?
Yeah, but based on what I said before, I'm also starting to wonder. I know at least some people in my audience who would be interested in Sauriana, but what if they don't know about it? Stuff that's brand new needs support if it's going to succeed, after all. I'd hate for this to wind up like All Quiet on the Martian Front or something.
In that case, why not reach out to the founder and ask if he wants some publicity?
Excellent idea. You're on a roll today, Lex. Let's see. Greetings, Fossilpunk Foundries. Your game looks very interesting, and I believe it deserves more attention. Would you like me to make a video about it on my channel? And sent. We'll see what happens. Oh hey, already a response. Sure, that would be appreciated. How about starting with a lore video? Here's some material from the rulebook.
Looks like I've got some work to do, Lex. Go forth, Master Viewer, and spread the news. I suppose I shall help myself to whatever is in the Frigidaire. That's right, everyone. There's a new tabletop miniature game entering the fray, and I've offered my services to help promote it because I think it's a really cool idea. Full disclosure, I don't gain anything if this game succeeds, nor is this a paid promo. I genuinely do just want to promote this because I want to support my fellow creators, especially if I think their ideas have potential. Such is the case with Sauriana. The basic pitch is that Sauriana is a steampunk game with dinosaurs. It's the Valley of Gwangi, the Lost World, the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen all mashed together into one game. That might be all some people need to hear. Steampunk and Dinosaurs is a very compelling argument. That it is snazzy, but I don't want people to think that this game has no substance. In fact, I was sent a bunch of lore by the Foundry in order to help introduce you to the world of Sauriana. So, enough dilly-dallying, let's dive in. The game is set in 1888, and one major event has completely changed the course of history. A few years prior, in Richmond, Surrey, a rip in the fabric of the universe appeared. Dubbed the Interstice, nobody knows who or what caused it, but it's a distortion in time that allows contact with the ancient past. Scientists have constructed a device called the Tellurion to allow for the extraction and compression of time itself from the interstice, and suddenly the world's economy had 2 new forms of currency: time and fossils. Why fossils? Because fossils are so ancient that loads of time can be extracted from them.
Heck, there's now an annual event called the Pilgrimage in which people can bring their fossils to the Tellurion and exchange them for rejuvenating time energy.
This sudden change in the value of fossils has led to an escalation in the Bone Wars.
You may want to elaborate on that one.
Good idea. The Bone Wars is a real historical event that is so ridiculous you might not believe it actually happened. But it did.
The two main players in the Bone Wars were Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, two paleontologists who absolutely hated each other and were determined to outdo each other. To that end, Cope and Marsh did more than just excavate fossils. They also ran smear campaigns, attempted to debunk each other's discoveries, hired spies to infiltrate each other's dig sites, and even destroyed fossil beds when their excavations wrapped, because they thought it was better to lose potential new discoveries completely than lose them to the competition.
If you want more details, I recommend the Monster Island Film Vault. Snazzy and I were recently on an episode that covered Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World, and the host Nathan Marchand goes into much greater detail about the Bone Wars there.
Wow, we are leaning heavily into cross-promotion in this video.
One cannot simply spread the word halfway, Snazzy. Anyway, in the world of Sauriana, the Bone Wars have escalated into an actual war. Now Cope and Marsh have armies fighting for them.
Cope heads the Cope Collective, who desire power and prestige more than anything else. When it's time to fight over territory, they employ such amazing weapons as the Saurautomatons, robotic fusions of machine and dinosaur bones that just might be some of the coolest things I've ever seen. Meanwhile, Marsh commands the Othnilians, who have developed the science of saurogenesis. With this strange technique, not only can the Othnilians breed living dinosaurs, they can also create human-dinosaur hybrids, which make very effective killers, if you can control them.
Weren't those things supposed to be in a Jurassic Park sequel at some point?
Yes, Snazzy, but I think they feel more at home here. As you can imagine, the landscape has changed significantly since the appearance of the interstice.
An entire city has risen around the interstice itself, and you might consider it the capital of this strange new world. Other cities include Nexus, the rail yard that connects the continental United States, Vale, a museum controlled entirely by the Cope Collective, Port Nautilus, a coastal town where a lot of international trade occurs, and Haven, a town in Florida located near a second time disruption believed to be the Fountain of Youth.
Other territories would be more accurately described as wild, which is to say, very dangerous.
Helltrench, for example, is considered a death trap that claims any creature who wanders into it. Blackwater is the result of the La Brea tar pits spreading over most of Southern California. Olduvai is in the dense jungles of Africa and is considered a popular hunting ground where dinosaurs roam freely, while Boneyard is a place in South Carolina where sauropods go to die, much like an elephant graveyard. The real gold mine, or fossil mine as it were, is the Morrison Territory, where there are more fossils than anywhere else just waiting to be excavated. And who knows what else awaits?
There are rumors, after all, of other time anomalies, and places where dinosaurs survived without needing to travel through time.
Within these wild territories, a third faction has arisen known as the Explorers Club. These guys are the big game hunters, the kind glorified in dime store novels. The Explorers Club isn't that interested in finding fossils. They want to explore and bag the ultimate quarry, and what bigger game is there than a dinosaur?
Best of all, they can step on as many butterflies as they want while doing it, unlike in that one Ray Bradbury story.
Of course, if someone is encroaching on their hunting grounds, you can bet they'll take action against the interlopers.
Rounding out the factions is the World's Fair.
Historically, the World's Fair takes its name from the semi-regular gatherings meant to celebrate different cultures and showcase new technologies and discoveries as mankind moves into the future. Most agree that the 1893 World's Fair, officially named the Columbian Exposition, was the most revolutionary of the bunch, and I highly recommend watching the documentary narrated by Gene Wilder if you want to know more.
I mean, you can't beat a documentary hosted by Willy Wonka, right?
In the game, meanwhile, the World's Fair is the mercenary faction. These are the bounty hunters looking for a new job, the rebels looking for a cause, and the wild dinosaurs waiting to be tamed or unleashed. They can be an army unto themselves, or they can be added to other armies. Your choice.
Well, there you go. That's the world being set up in Sauriana, and personally, I really do think it looks cool.
It's got historical appeal, a retro-futuristic aesthetic, plenty of room for expansion, and dinosaurs. lots and lots of dinosaurs.
Of the many tabletop games I've seen popping up recently, this is one I would really love to see take off in popularity, hence why I'm covering it here. I'm sure we can all agree that these days the world could use more steampunk and dinosaurs. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. Truth be told, I first learned about Fossilpunk Foundries through a different game they're developing, a kaiju-themed miniature game called Larger Than Life, which is also set to be released soon. You can bet I'll be keeping my eyes on that one as well.
Congratulations, you reached the end. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to consider supporting us on Patreon. Of course, the other way to support us is to go to Amazon and check out our books, Operation Red Dragon, The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, The Occult Mafia, Emerald of Maddox City, and Assorted Absurdities, Tales of Kaiju Punk and Other Genres. Also check the description for links to DeviantArt and other platforms we operate. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.